So I'm not going to lie, it's January and it's snowy and horrible in the UK, but I'm in Morocco with Ducati, about to ride their new DesertX Rally. So this is the most extreme version of the DesertX. I think probably Ducati's most extreme off-road adventure bike ever made. Beefed up suspension, so we've got 48mm forks from 46. We've got 20mm more travel front and rear. We've got more ground clearance, big crash protection on the bottom. The front mud guard is much higher now to give it more clearance so you can get through gravel and mud, etc. And we've got a few little added extras on our bikes here in Morocco because we've changed the tyres. There's 3 options of tyres when you buy the bike depending on how off-road you want to go. So let me just give you a quick look. So the crash bars here, that's an optional extra. The tyres, they've just opted for more off-road orientated tyres from Pirelli. And yeah, I think that's a beautiful looking bike. The engine is exactly the same as it was before, 110 horsepower. It's the familiar platform, and we've got 2 days here in Morocco, including some camping tonight apparently. So yeah, the DesertX Rally. So basically what Ducati have done is they raced it at Erzberg and a few other places around the world, and then they've taken the knowledge from racing it and gone, well, they wanted more ground clearance, they wanted more suspension travel, so we'll produce a kind of extreme version. This is the most extreme off-road bike Ducati have ever done, I think. I'll have to question that. So we've got 20mm more travel front, 20mm more travel on the rear, beefier, thicker forks. We've got that high front mud guard that you can see. We've got really strong, secure sump guard underneath. That's all new. The crash protection, like the engine bars, they're not standard. And then it's homologated for 3 different tyres, 3 different Pirellis. And we've got the most off-road orientated Pirellis that are homologated for this model. Power and torque are the same as before, which is about 110 horsepower, I think. The engine is exactly the same, the exhaust routing is the same, the intake is the same, valves, everything else. Desmo valves, so big service intervals. It's basically big suspension, big protection, extreme off-road. That's the simplistic way of putting it. The downside is seat height is 9'10", which is the highest seat height available on any bike at the moment. I think if you put a GS with the highest possible seat, it's about the same. So the seat height is tall and priced, so yeah, we're a couple of grand short of 20. And I guess if you tick the accessories box for the heated seats and the rad guard like we've got and the engine protection, then you're going to go north of 20 grand. That's a lot of money. This is just lovely out here. In the middle of nowhere there's always a man on a scooter. So in the rally mode at the moment. So when I'm in rally, I've got full power and far less rider aids. If you go into the enduro mode, you've got quite soft power and more off-road biased rider aids. Oop. Truck, that's what we want to see. Oh, there's a truck. Worth mentioning the quick shifter that works really well as well. And it's got roosted. So as you can tell by my fellow colleague Carl, he's struggling with that tall seat height. I can't get 2 feet on the ground. It's like one fully flattened and the other one just about on the peg. Makes it awkward when you're trying to get the side stand up. I can't think of any other bike that's got a seat height this tall, apart from there was a BMW HP, I think it was the Enduro that partnered the Mega Moto. That was big. I don't think I say this enough, but I tell you what, I've got a good job. Riding this bike all day off-road with a good group of mates, everything's organised. Ducati yeah, we've got a lead rider, a middle rider, a tail rider. One of the guys is a doctor. And now we're just pulling up for some nice lunch. Yeah, this is not the worst job in the world. This is how you do launches. So just stopped for lunch, done just over 100 kilometres, mainly off-road this morning. A real mixture of dusty trails and a few rocks, and now we've just got a bit of lunch. Let me show you. This is our roughing it kind of barbecue. So we've got the meats over there, a bit of pork, a bit of lamb, and yeah, this is not the worst job in the world. This is quite deep sand. Lean back, try and get through it. Oh, foot down. That is hard going. It might not look it on camera. Oh, you fucker. But that is... Oh, you bastard. Deep sand. Woo! Are we lost? So we've done, I don't know, another hour and a bit after lunch. It's about 3:30 and we are in proper dunes of Morocco. Now in places the sand is quite solid where there's lots of tracks, so this track behind me, that's quite solid, but once you get into the little ravines it's really soft. Probably 1.5 to 2 foot deep in sand, which is, there's a technique to it which is sitting back and gassing it, but the more you sit back and gas it the faster you go, and then it all just gets a bit worrying. So we've had a few tipple-offs, but considering we're pushing the new Ducati, which is what, 220 kilograms straight through deep sand, it's handling it really well. So hopefully that comes out in the GoPro, and hopefully I don't swear too much. Oh, it's just lovely to me. But this is what it does as well. It's just a fantastic road bike. It can just have fun on all day long. It's only got 110 horsepower apparently, but it'll do that all day, every day. Up car. Dusty trail. You wouldn't think this has got big tall seat height, long travel suspension. It's just fun. So we just finished day one, which was proper epic. Let me give you a little tour of the camp. So over there is where we're going to have dinner, where the bikes are getting prepped, ready for tomorrow, a bit of fuel, and then this is where we're camping tonight. So I'm in the tent over there, just about to go get a shower. Got a little fire pit, got the bikes in there. So we'll have a few beers. Miguel's stories about how young we used to be and how fit we used to be. And look at the scenery. It's beautiful. What a day's riding. That has been a truly awesome day's riding. Just all off-road. I got blisters on top of blisters, I got dust on top of dust. It was hard work at times and it was very hot, but it feels like I've done something. It feels like I've had a challenge. Well done, Ducati. Bring it on more tomorrow. So just headed in for dinner. I mean, it is camping, but it's not really camping. Yeah, that's a swimming pool. Yeah, it's not really camping, is it? No, to be fair, this is not camping. This is pretty special this morning. Sometimes it's worth getting out of bed early. Whoa, you fucker, that was a big hole. Quite difficult to see because it's still a little bit dark. I can't make out the big holes. Trying to concentrate on where I'm going, following the red lights in front. Woo! Oh, you fucker. It's just when you come over some of them crests, you're like, I'm doing 100 kilometers an hour and I don't know what's on the other side. But the ABS is really good. I've got it in the most extreme version. So I've got ABS on the front and it has rescued me a few times. Avoid that big hole. I guess this is what you want if you come to Africa. Big dusty trails. Kind of stand up on the pegs, let the bike do the work. Still got to be so careful. It's like, oh, big ditch. Big ditches like that. Big rocks. You just always got your concentration head on. So that's it. We're done on day 2 here in Morocco with Ducati with their amazing DesertX Rally. We've had an amazing 2 days of riding. Ducati have really pushed the boat out. Give us the opportunity to really test this bike. I would say 90% of the riding has been off-road. We've done nothing really on-road apart from some town work in the urban and wet mode because it's been a bit wet today. And we've not done any high-speed motorway stuff or touring or comfort really because most of the time we've been stood up, to be honest. So this has been a real test of its off-road capabilities and how it is as an adventure bike off-road. And in terms of what it's like as an adventure bike off-road, this is one of the best out there. So let me give you a little look round and give you some little pointers like good things and bad things. So let's start with the good. The suspension by KYB, closed cartridge system, more travel than before, hugely impressive forks. Same with the rear shock, brand new shock, more travel, very impressive. This carbon bash plate, which is all new, has taken an absolute smashing, no signs of wear. Love the little flip over back brake lever. Brakes are really strong. The dash is same as the DesertX, easy to read, very simple. Modes are excellent. The only negativity I would say is the dash seems to attract dirt like an old TV. I don't know if it's the static or what, but yeah, it's forever getting dirty. But then again, look at the state of the bike. Engine performance is same as before. That's the Testostrator engine, 110 horsepower. I think it's got great torque, I think it's got great spread of power, and you've got those multiple rider aids and rider modes that calm and trim the power delivery. So if you want less power when you're off-road, you can go into the enduro mode, and if you want full power, you go into the rally mode. Again, if you're on the road, you can have full power in sport, and then it restricts it a bit in touring, and then you're down to, I think, 75 horsepower in the urban and wet. And the modes you can change on the fly, they're dead easy to use, you don't have to stop and put your feet down. You can go from full power to nothing and back up again on the move and on the fly. This bike does have a few optional extras, which is the crash bars, the rad guard, but the front mud guard is standard, that's all new for this year, to give you more clearance. I'm hugely impressed by this bike. Negatives, it is tall bike, that is a 9-10 seat height, so it is a negative, it is a tall seat, but if you've got a tall seat height, it's going to be great off-road. If you want a great off-road bike, it's going to be tall. In the same way, if you want a great sports bike, it's not going to be comfortable. If you want a comfortable bike, it's not going to be good on a racetrack. But what Ducati could have done is just made the side stand a little bit more accessible. When you've got little legs like mine, I can't get to the side stand when I'm sat on it. I have to flick the side stand up, then get on the bike. That's a little bit annoying. And then the other point is price, because this is, nearest damn it, £19,000. And then when you start adding a few extras like heated grips and the crash protection and the rad protection, you're going to be at 20. And then if you want to add a full race exhaust, which adds more power and less weight, you could be at 21, 22. You can still soon add it up. But you can see that in the quality of the components, because you've got very expensive forks. They're probably about €4,500 a piece. You've got Öhlins manual adjustable damper, the new wheels from XL with the carbon steel spokes. They're probably a couple of €1,000. You can see where the money's gone. Overall, really enjoyed the test, really enjoyed the bike. I would say that this is, for me, the best off-road adventure bike on the market. That's a bold statement, and it's an expensive statement, but that's what I'm going with. Yeah, I think I'm going with that. Are we going with that? Arguably, possibly the best off-road adventure bike on the market. I think that covers all bases. Thanks for watching, hope you've enjoyed it. Please click and subscribe, and please ask me any questions and I'll try and get back to you. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Time for a shandy.